Good afternoon. I'm Katelyn Matson-Levy, and this is the Classical Cafe. I am welcoming into the green room with us today the Director of Special Events from Botanica, Kathy Spillman. So, as when I say special events, I mean every big event you can think of: illuminations, vine, blooms, brews and Bloody Marys, Botanica, the Tulip Festival. It's Kathy. She is the force behind it. And we welcome her today. And I'm so grateful to have you. Hello, Kathy.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. And we are going to get Daniel on here as well. He's such a busy man. I mean, to be a busy maestro. He's going to be joining us later on in the hour, and we'll talk with him about the symphony portion. But
Perfect.
Symphony in the Gardens. This is the second year for Symphony in the Gardens. Last year was the inaugural season, and it was such a huge event and such a successful event. You decided to keep it going. Talk to us a bit about the idea. Where did it first germinate from?
Okay, so Dawn, the head of the symphony, and Marty Miller, our executive director at Botanica, they have been in the talks about this for a little over 10 years of how to get the symphony out to Botanica. We've had some of the smaller groups out to play throughout the garden, but our dream was always to get the full symphony out here in the gardens. And during COVID, we kept up with our construction and added the new Coke Carousel Gardens and Brown stage and Grand Lawn. And it was kind of just the perfect time between us having the facility to and the grand stage to house part of the symphony. And due to COVID, the Wichita Symphony was not able to perform in Century 2. So they've been talking about this for over 10 years. And last year, it was time. It was time to make this finally happen. So we came up with Symphony in the Gardens. And really to keep everybody safe, to allow social distancing. So the idea was to break up the symphony into smaller groups that would play throughout Botanica's 20 acres of gardens. And then they would play for about an hour and a half. And then we asked all of the guests to join us on the Grand Lawn stage. And last year we had the brass perform. And we had the last couple songs choreographed to fireworks, and it was just a beautiful collaboration between the two entities. Of them being able to showcase the Wichita Symphony, us getting to showcase our gardens and the flowers, and really say for the community at the time last year during COVID to be able to walk around and be outside, but get the experience of all of that, the music, the smell, the taste of food, different things for a great fundraiser. This is a fundraiser for both of us. And we just were so pleased last year, and, being in the arts, working together is just really important. So
Yes,
we wanted to do it again. So this is, like you said, our second annual Symphony in the Gardens, but we are so excited because this year we will have the larger symphony, not just the brass play on the Grand Lawn stage. So we are really excited about this year.
Well, and it's such a great idea. I mean, why should it only be in the time of COVID? Let's do it every year. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
Hello.
Hi, Daniel. We welcome Maestro Daniel Hege from the Wichita Symphony Orchestra to tell us all about Symphony in the Gardens. It returns for a second year. Daniel, before we get into any further details, please tell us, what is the symphony performing?
Oh, well, we have a wonderful program. There's a piece by, first of all, it's aquatic themed. It's all connected to the kind of washed ashore exhibit that's there. So we wanted to do everything that's related to water. And there's so much music that's for that, but we're not going to do La Mer or anything like that. It's a little too big. But we're doing a work called The Tall Ships by Robert Wendell. We're doing The Moldau by Smetana, which is about the great river. The Blue Danube Waltz, which is a favorite of everybody's, Johann Strauss Jr. Thunder and Lightning Polka, not to tempt fate, I hope, because this is outdoors and we don't want that. So, but a little bit of fun there. And the Titanic Medley So we all know the great Titanic movie, and the music from that was so wonderful of James Horner. And then we're going to end the show with a little bit of ominous music, but fun. Jaws by John Williams.
I love it.
Have to have a great sea
weather's,
creature in there.
the weather's supposed to be beautiful.
It is. I've looked at the extended forecast and it looks amazing. So let's just keep the good vibes going for that.
We certainly will. Fingers are crossed. We're going to listen to a few minutes of the Mold Out, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk even more about Symphony in the Gardens. Give us just like a short rundown about what we are listening to and how we can hear the two little brooks merge together in the river.
Oh, sure. Yes, it's there are the little tributaries. It starts that way. It starts with the like little streams, like springs, like from a mountain. And as they start to get together, you hear the orchestra get louder and louder. And it really has the kind of jagged little swirls that you would imagine these tributaries having before they join.
All right. This is the Berlin Philharmonic with Smetana's The Mold Out, and we'll be right back with Kathy Spillman and Daniel Hege. Smetana's The Mold Out. That is one of the pieces programmed for Symphony in the Gardens on May the 13th at Botanica. For tickets and information, you can visit either the Wichita Symphony website or Botanica website, wichitasymphony.org or botanica.org. And I'm Katelyn Matson-Levy, and this is The Green Room. In the green room today with me, Kathy Spillman, who is the director of special events for Botanica, and Maestro Daniel Hege from the Wichita Symphony. This is such an exciting night. Kathy, it isn't just show up, sit, and listen to music. There's so much more involved. What all is happening?
Yeah, so with your ticket price, includes the different ensembles throughout our 20 acres of beautifully developed gardens right now. Especially with all this rain, the gardens will be in beautiful condition. We're expecting great weather. But with your ticket price, you'll walk the 20 acres. You will get to experience 8 different gourmet food tasting stations. And we will have different bars set up. You will get a ticket for 2 complimentary cocktails or pop, and then cash bar to follow. Obviously, all of the music groups around. And then at about 9 p.m., we will expect everyone be at the Grand Lawn to start the final concert. So really experience, the music, the food, and the beverages, walk around the gardens. It will definitely be a night to remember.
And Daniel, the night ends with a bang.
It sure does. After we played Jaws, we're going to play Sousa's Hands Across the Sea, yet staying with the aquatic theme, reaching across the ocean. And during that time, about halfway through Hands Across the Sea, we're going to have fireworks.
Woo!
And fireworks is always something people look forward to. And then there will be some choreographed fireworks to the music that people will hear. So it's going to be a very spectacular evening all around, from the great weather to the spectacular gardens and wonderful chamber groups, fantastic food, and then capping off the evening with about 45 minutes or 50 minutes of symphonic music with a full symphony orchestra.
Those of us at Radio Kansas and our regular listeners are all too familiar with the Wichita Symphony Orchestra. For those who might not be quite as familiar with Botanica, it's a community gardens. It's a nonprofit organization. It's open every day of the year. Kathy, an event like this is a fundraiser for you. Is that correct?
Yeah, so this is a fundraiser for Botanica. Like you mentioned, we are a nonprofit and we're teaming up with the Symphony. So this is a fundraiser for them also. It's really just a beautiful collaboration between, 2 great cultural arts entities here in Wichita. So it supports both of us, and just the gardens with the music, it just fits beautifully together and really can showcase both groups. So yeah, we really encourage you to go to either of our websites to purchase tickets. It will be quite a night.
It will be a great night. So tickets are $125. Keep in mind, you get a whole evening experience, plus you are fed and your thirst is quenched, and you get to experience the gardens, and there's the price of a symphony ticket rolled up in there. But more than anything, you're supporting the arts, you're supporting nonprofits in Wichita and the incredible Botanica Gardens. For information or tickets, visit wichitasymphony.org or botanica.org. So the musical theme of the evening is the sea, water.
Mhm.
And I was reading that one of the pieces you have programmed is the Blue Danube Waltz. And I
Yes.
think we're going to end our interview together by listening to that.
Mhm.
So one more time, Daniel, when is Symphony in the Gardens and where do we go for ticket information?
Right. It's Friday, May 13th, but don't let that scare you. It's going to be a great evening, Friday 13th. But we're going to have great weather, as we've been talking about. So keep sending good vibes for that. And it's at Botanica. It's on the Grand Lawn. In fact, this may be the only time the Wichita Symphony as a full orchestra has performed outdoors other than at Riverfest, which we do every year. But this is about the only other time it's ever happened, because our indoor season ends and then we do Riverfest and then we're kind of out until the fall. So this is something very special for that too. And the lawn can seat, I think, up to about 2,000 people very comfortably, with great sight lines to everywhere on the orchestra, because the lawn is raked in such a way that people will have a great view. So
Well, wonderful. Kathy, I imagine, will tickets sell out? Do we need to, kind of be quick to call in?
We are hoping it does. Tickets are on sale, and I think just with the nice weather, they will be going fast. So yes, we encourage you to get your tickets in as soon as possible, just in that chance that it does sell out.
All right. Kathy and Daniel, thank you so much for talking with me about Symphony in the Gardens, which is May the 13th. For ticket information, go to wichitasymphony.org or botanica.org. They have a sea theme, a water theme that evening. So we're going to listen to one of the pieces programmed. This is the beautiful Blue Danube with the CSR State Philharmonic.